Quiet on set. After your starting places, please.
Anne, is that you? Oh, it's me, Joe, from Avenue C. Remember?
Joe, I thought it looked like you, but the last I heard, you'd moved to Georgia. Oh, I feel like I'm dreaming. I never expected to see you again.
Well, when my son was transferred to Georgia, I moved there to be closer to him and his family. And I was comfortable there, well, until strange things started to happen. One time I had to call him because I couldn't find my car keys. They were in the freezer. And sometimes I wouldn't remember how to get home from familiar places like the grocery store. Well, last month then I fell and I broke my hip. Neither of our homes was wheelchair accessible. And in the meantime, he was transferred back to this area. So here I am. Oh, hey, look at the headlines. The Bears won yesterday.
Look at us now. Things were different when we were young.
Oh, there were a lot of kids on the block. And we spent most of our time outside. Oh, we rode our bikes. We flew kites and had snowball fights. Oh, swimming and ice skating in the park. Oh, and those softball games. Do you remember those?
Oh, of course I remember those. You were the youngest of the 4 boys in the group. Mm-hmm. Nancy and I were the oldest of the 6 girls. 3 of the girls were Bill's sisters. I never did understand why you guys wanted to play softball with us. Do you remember the rules?
Oh, I remember some. What were they again?
We had 6 outs per inning. The guys had 1. We had pitchers' hands out, and the guys had to get the ball to first base.
Oh, and I remember one. We had to bat left-handed. The girls could bat right-handed.
You were all in Little League. Most of our team was young and inexperienced. It was amazing we even won a few games.
Oh, do you remember the time you knocked Bill down at second base?
Oh, of course. It was the most embarrassing episode of my entire summer. Oh, you know it was all your fault, right?
How do you figure it was my fault?
You were playing third base. If I managed to hit the ball at all, it was usually a slow roller down the third base line. So you stood there and started to talk to the ball. You said, "Come on, ball, keep rolling. Cross the line. You can do this." You probably picked it up and dropped it a few times, so I decided to go on to second. Everyone started yelling at me to slide, but I didn't know how. So I just kept going. I thought for sure Bill would move a bit. Isn't that what second basemen do? Anyhow, he blocked the base and I flattened him.
And when the dust cleared, there was Bill on his back on second base.
And there I was, face down on top of Bill. You were all laughing so hard you had to sit down. Since the ball ended up in center field, Bill sent me on to third.
I remember that I told you I wished I'd been playing second base that day.
I think you should have. You would have had the common sense to only keep a toe on the bag instead of blocking the whole base.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Oh, hey, look at this. The Bears won yesterday.
Joe, you've only been here a couple of hours and I see you found a friend.
Well, Ann and I grew up in the same neighborhood.
Joe's family moved away after the 8th grade.
And you haven't seen each other since?
Only in pictures.
I was on my high school reunion committee. Since I was looking for former classmates, I decided I'd also look for Joe. He was very surprised to hear from me.
And so we emailed each other. Well, usually just sharing pictures of our families and our vacations. But then we lost contact about 3 years ago. But now we're both here.
Very good. Joe, I have to check on a resident in the next room, and then I will be back for you. We're going to do some activities so I can get to know you better.
Okay.
Activities. That's code for playing some silly games. You have to spell words backwards and count backwards. You even have to draw a clock. I have no idea how that helps to know you better.
Oh, hey, look, the Bears won yesterday.
This new Alzheimer's drug looks promising. We should be able to tell who is taking the drug and who is taking the placebo as the year progresses.
Well, Joe and Ann have scores within the same range on the mini mental status exam. Like, even their clock drawings are similar.
Look at that painting on the wall there. Oh, I just love it. It's such a peaceful setting.
I suppose so. Come on, Joe, keep playing. I've got most of the cards. This game is almost done.
Oh, I saw your daughter today. She stopped to talk to me as she was leaving.
My daughter? No, it couldn't have been her. She hasn't been here for a long time. My queen takes your jack. The game is done. I win. Come to my room, Joe. I'll show you my daughter. So, this is my family. My daughter put this here so that I would remember my family. Like I might forget their names. Oh, my son put up this map. He says that I've been to all the states with the stars. I think he's making this up. I would have remembered going to Hawaii and Alaska. My friend Janet brought this. She said that when we toured Italy 15 years ago, we had lunch with George Clooney. I've looked and I've looked, and I can't find his picture. Now that's a picture I'd want on my wall.
Well, it's no surprise seeing the two of you guys together. I just came by to remind you that lunch will be served in about 5 minutes. A man by the name of Carl moved in today. You should be able to meet him at lunch.
I noticed him this morning. He reminds me of your favorite movie star, the star in your favorite movie, Joe.
My favorite movie? Oh, you mean Field of Dreams?
Right. What was that star's name?
Oh, it was Kevin something.
Well, I hope that handsome new guy sits at our table.
I hope he sits on the other side of the cafeteria. Oh, Anne, have you seen that painting? Oh, it's such a peaceful scene.
Yeah, Joe. Come on, I want to meet the new guy. What are you watching, Joe?
Oh, hi, Anne. It's the White Sox and the Yankees.
Who's winning?
It's only the fourth inning. The Sox are leading 2-1.
Joe? Where's Louis Aparicio? Where's Nellie Fox? Why aren't they playing?
I've been wondering that myself. Well, maybe the coach is trying out some younger players. Oh, what a beautiful double play.
Double play? What's a double play?
Well, you know, Anne, it's when the shortstop...
Never mind. I don't understand this game. I'm going back to my room.
Oh, I just love that painting. It's such a peaceful scene. You're still looking for George Clooney?
George who?
Well, George Clooney. You mentioned that you had lunch with him when you went to Italy.
Don't mess with me, Joe. I don't know any George Clooney. And I've never been to Italy. I would have remembered that trip.
It never fails. If I can't see you two, I know I can find the two of you in Anne's room. We're going to do bingo. In about 10 minutes, I'll save places for the both of you.
I don't want to play bingo.
Oh, Anne, you've always liked that game. Well, especially since you're usually the big winner.
I just don't feel like playing.
Oh, come on, Anne. What else is there to do? Well, besides, the prize today is a chocolate Hostess cupcake. You love chocolate.
Oh, all right. Let's go play bingo.
O64.
Oh, Anne, she just called 064. You have that right here.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
B14.
The next number is B14, and you have that right here. Oh, look, all you need is an I-28, and you have a bingo.
I-28.
Look, Anne, you have a bingo. But Anne has bingo.
Oh, congratulations, Anne. You have won the first cupcake of the day.
The drug study is almost over, and now we need to add our comments. What are you going to write about Anne?
Well, I'm going to write that she was a kind and gentle lady who became more withdrawn as her world became less comprehensible.
I'll write that she deteriorated as expected. She lost interest in all activities. What about Joe?
Oh, Joe hasn't changed much. He repeats phrases, and he really likes that scenic painting. He takes really good care of Anne.
Right, his behavior has not changed. Even his clock drawings and mini mental exam scores are in the same range as last year.
Mm-hmm.
I have an 8. Oh, and you have a 10. But you win. I have a 6, and you have a 2. I take these. Oh, I have a jack. Oh, and of course you beat it with your queen. Oh, you're very lucky playing this game.
I'm just throwing down cards. I don't know what I'm doing. I quit. I'm going back to my room.
Oh, but Anne, come on, you're winning.
Just leave me alone, Joe. Don't bother me.
Let's finish the game, Joe.
I don't feel like playing anymore. When I arrived here last year, I was so excited to see Anne. I've loved her since the 4th grade, when she very patiently taught me how to add and subtract fractions. By the 8th grade, I decided to marry her.
Do you think that she felt the same way?
Maybe not when we were young, but after we reconnected, it was just so easy to exchange emails. We both knew that Alzheimer's was a possibility for us. We used to joke that we could be Alzheimer roommates, and that way we would at least know each other in the morning. But now it seems she just doesn't care. She's focused on George Clooney or some other handsome guy.
You take good care of her, Joe. The two of you play cards, watch sports, go to bingo, and listen to music. You tell her how nice she looks after her beauty shop appointments. You even get her to lunch on time.
You notice I care about her. Do you think she notices?
Anne reminds me of my grandma. She had been a kind and gentle lady until her world started falling apart. She didn't remember familiar people, places, or regular routines. It seemed like the more I tried to help her, the more she pulled away. I dreaded going to see her. But there was one day, near the end of her life, when she looked at me and said, "You take good care of me, Irene." I left in tears, and I regret not spending more time with her. So yes, Joe, it is important that you spend time with her. She knows you care. I'm sure she knows.
Everything's quiet on the floor today. I think the residents are upset. They know that Anne is leaving soon.
It never fails. They don't know what day it is, what time it is, or when they should go to lunch, but when one of them's close to dying, they all stop in to say goodbye.
Joe, you've been here all night. You need to take a break. Maybe get some breakfast.
I can't leave her now. Just give me a few more minutes. Anne, remember when we used to joke about being roommates? I've loved our time together this past year. I will miss you.
I love you, Joe.
She's gone, Joe. Well, Joe's no longer with us. He regressed so rapidly after Anne passed, and he was doing so well. I wonder if his medication stopped working.
It's like a scene from the movie Awakenings, remember?
Mm.
Robin Williams portrayed a doctor that used it's like a scene from the movie Awakenings, remember? Robin Williams portrayed a doctor that used dopamine on comatose patients to wake them up. Eventually, the dopamine stopped working, and they all became comatose again.
What do you think? Do you think his medication stopped working? Let's check his chart. Well, this doesn't make sense. We know Anne had the placebo, but according to this, look, Joe had the placebo too. I wonder how he could stay alert this long. I wonder what kept him going.